Welcome to our series, Moving America Forward. Each week we'll be focusing on America's entrepreneurs as they take us to new roads, new opportunities, new ways to fill the gaps left by today's failing companies. Our series will be looking at that and a lot more. So come with me and watch as the entrepreneurs of our nation move into the future.
And I'm Doug Llewelyn here in our Los Angeles studio with our guest today, who happens to be the president and CEO of a company known as Environmental Remediation and Financial Services. It's headquartered in Seagirt, New Jersey. Let me explain something to you. It is an environmental remediation company that develops technologies and solutions for cleaning environmentally hazardous situations that are hazardous not only to our environment but also to individuals, and most specifically soil and groundwater situations. They do the cleanup with their own equipment and their staff. It's quite an interesting story, to say the least. Let me introduce you to that gentleman now. Again, the president and CEO, Mark Vigneri. Mark, welcome. Nice to have you here.
Thank you for having me
Indeed,
on.
it's a pleasure to welcome you here. Let me point out, a little while ago, before we start, you had a chance to answer some questions from William Shatner. Let's pause and take a look at how a portion of that went right now, okay?
Okay.
All right, let's watch.
You are certainly in an interesting business, but take a moment to describe to me exactly what you do and who you do it for and how it helps move America forward.
Thank you, Mr. Shatner, for having me on the program today. While climate change and air pollution have been grabbing the headlines more in the last year, environmental remediation and financial services since 1998 has been making it more possible and less costly to clean soil and groundwater. Mr. Shatner, that is how we're helping America move forward.
You know, it really does sound like you do something that's very, very important, and it's something we hear about in the news these days. Tell me a little bit about, specifically, what kind of environmentally hazardous situations do you end up dealing with? What are we talking about?
We deal with things the public's aware of, such as spills from tanks or piping at gas stations, letting loose fuels, chemicals being discharged from manufacturing into the subsurface. We deal pretty much with any type of industrial contamination that gets into the soil and groundwater, and we find ways to be able to connect to it and convert those contaminants into harmless compounds in place.
Basically, that's the primary, isn't it? It's stuff, chemicals and things that have seeped into the ground over many years of, like from gasoline stations, from their gas tanks that have been underground out in front that may have leaked a little bit, or from manufacturing processes that have a lot of different chemicals involved that have gotten into the ground?
Yeah, or dry cleaners. You may have use of solvents. There's maybe runoff. There's all kinds of situations. But once you problem's been discovered and you have to respond to it, there's a lot of pressure on the responsible parties to find a best and certain way of being able to remediate that problem and remove the environmental liability.
It would seem to me that there are a lot of governmental regulations involved in what you do to clean these things up. Is that right?
Oh, yeah, there's enormous, and it's the interpretation and also being able to set up the responsible party, the client, in the best possible manner to be able to do this at the least cost and the least amount of time.
All right, you're headquartered in Seagirt, New Jersey, which, I mean, New Jersey has so much manufacturing. There's so many industries in New Jersey. All you gotta do is drive the New Jersey Turnpike and you can, you know, it's heading into New York, you see that. Do you do this service in areas other than New Jersey? Are you nationwide? How does it work with you?
Yeah, we're nationwide. I mean, we're proud to be from New Jersey. We feel that our state probably has some of the toughest regulations in the United States, but we work all across the United States. We have equipment in Florida, Texas, California. We've had a licensee in Japan for 10 years. And through that licensee, we're starting to place people in projects, our people in China. So we work domestically and internationally.
So explain to me how responsible parties go about attempting to clean up groundwater contamination. What's the process?
Well, for us, we follow a model. We have a model that started with the company called the on-contact process, where we use technologies first to physically link to cubic volumes of soil and groundwater, and then prepare that subsurface area with chemistry, biological or oxidative, other types of chemistry, and then actually convert these contaminants into harmless compounds like carbon dioxide and water in place without having to do any excavation or use any type of above the surface equipment to try to cure that. And then in the end, restoration stage is the fourth stage, where we reset anything that may have been upset, that may need to be reset for closure, dissolved oxygen, pH, anything in the subsurface. So we're able to create technologies that work so people can use their property without it being disturbed. You don't have to shut down a gas station or knock down a house or shut down a factory.
Well, in some situations you do, though, don't you? I mean, if a gas station has been at a certain location for, let's say, 70, 80 years, and it's had a serious situation of leakage from those gas tanks in the ground, and they want to sell it, for example, somebody else wants to buy it and build a restaurant in that site, it has to be thoroughly cleaned up before it can be reused, doesn't it? And can't that take time?
Yeah, it can take time, and then a lot of times somebody may, try to excavate it out and totally, spend a lot of money or use equipment that may take many years. What we do is, that's a common situation where you may have a tank field being taken out, a new one being put in, right. But because of these subsurface appliances that we have, we're able to connect to the soil and groundwater wherever we need to go while they're doing construction, while the station is being updated, or work underneath somebody's home if there's been a residential oil release, or work outside or inside factories to take things that are underneath flooring so giant buildings don't have to be removed. And what's nice about our systems is they're very portable, so we follow where the contamination is, and we do most of our work on performance contracts, so we can't leave a site until it's actually cleaned.
I find it interesting because you had explained a lot of time is you don't have to extract whatever the contaminant is in the ground. You inject chemicals and other particles or whatever solutions that actually break the hazardous material down and cause it to, in effect, dissipate or disappear. Is that really the way it works?
Yeah, if you have organic compounds, you can break carbon chains down to their basic elements. And if you have things that are more complicated are like metals, where you can put something into a state where it's not harmful anymore, and it may be suspended in soils in a way that you don't have to worry about it, or it's not going to be mobile. But that's what we're always working on in the technologies, is stopping the need for something to either have to be dug up or be treated by, pump and treat soil vapor extraction or other things, where you build equipment on the surface and you run it for years hoping that you'll actually get to the levels that you want to go to.
Well, in listening to you, it reminded me, I felt like I was back in chemistry or physics class, because that's really what it all is. Talk to me about some of the kinds of companies and industries you do this work for.
Well, we're like Switzerland. We're friends to everybody. We do, half of this work is for about any industry that we use. We get work from environmental consultants and engineers. Direct work that we get is usually a lot from insurance, state funds, federal government, banking, and that type of work, because we don't do things like civil engineering or marine or actual construction. So a lot of our consulting engineer friends also get work from us on those types of direct projects. So we like working in teams. We come in and we try to find what is the client's wish list. What is it that they need? Does this need to be less money, less time? what is it that's driving them to need a solution that's going to fit them.
You know, I understand you are the ones who pioneered performance contracting. I'm not quite sure what that really means, I guess, but explain that to me.
What we do is we get paid as we do operations and we achieve results, but also what's unique about us is this not to stop terms that we have in our contracts. It's not just getting paid at a certain time, it's once we accept a certain cubic volume of soil and or groundwater, we're on that site until it's actually cleaned.
And that could be a lengthy period of time, couldn't it?
We have occasionally some sites have some unusual things go on, but they become our research and development sites.
Yeah.
So we've been 100% contract successful since 1998.
What are the biggest challenges you see for the future of this remediation business that you do?
A lot of it is really hoping the public will get more and more of an understanding of this industry so that they can have their input. There's really two areas to concentrate on. A lot of the regulations are set in some type of opposition sometimes. For example, we could be working on a site where it's an extremely low level of contamination in order to make a regulation while because some minimal stuff's being done up the street, free product, something that hasn't even dissolved into groundwater, might be sitting in the ground and not getting treated. The other thing is for the public to actually understand what this all costs, because we need to pick and choose what we spend our money on this, because we all pay for this inside taxes and insurance premiums and cost of products, cost of development. So, you know, programs like this, I hope people start, you know, looking into what this is all about.
And it's not cheap, is it?
No, no. It's the thing for us is we apologize to a client that they have to spend $1 or a minute on this, and we find ways of being able to cut that in half. As you know,
that's
really,
what makes you great.
Yeah.
What you do. Well, listen, it's an amazing story you have to tell. Thank you so much for telling us about it. We appreciate it.
Thanks. Thanks for having me.
This organization represents companies across our great nation that embody the spirit, dedication, know-how, and can-do attitude which has made America the great nation that it is today. And now let's present the Keeping America Strong Award.
Now it's my honor to present this prestigious award to Mark Vigneri, who is the President and CEO of Environmental Remediation and Financial Services of Seagirt, New Jersey, for the outstanding work his firm is doing to help keep moving America forward. Congratulations, Mark.
Thank you very much. I accept this on the behalf of the staff. A lot of people have been with us for a lot of years, and I urge people come to our website and actually get to see some of the people that actually make this happen.
You're very welcome.
Thanks.
That's it for another edition of Moving America Forward. I'm Bert Tenzer. Join us again as we continue to bring you the entrepreneurs who move America forward.
I'm William Shatner, and for all of us at Moving America Forward, thanks for watching.